Okay, wonderful. So I see the input going. So hi everyone. My name is Maya Harada. It's such a pleasure to be able to have an interview here today. And I have the fabulous Nick Davis here. And I'm going to let him share a little bit about his background. But I have to tell you that Nick is probably one of the biggest secret weapons that I have working with my business. Is an amazing web developer. And what I absolutely love about his work is that he's always been very key about wanting me to understand more about WordPress and the technology that I often don't want to deal with, but the more I understand, the better business person I become. So I wanted to interview Nick today because he's got this amazing contest that's going on that I want him to share with as many people as possible. And I know I definitely have people that are in this community that are looking to either start a business or know someone that wants to start a business and would probably love to know about this amazing website opportunity. So Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. Excited to have you here. Delightful. Can you share a little bit about your background? How did you get started in doing this type of work and a little bit about the work that you do?
Sure. Well, my background's I did my first website in 1997, so I probably sound like a mega geek, or maybe I am. And yeah, I just for me, like, I just wanted to do something. I was originally started out in journalism, and so like writing and stuff. And they would basically said to me, like, the truth of the matter is, like, they were like, you could go work for a newspaper and just make tea for like 2 years, or you can go in like television and do the same, or because obviously, it's hard. You've got to kind of earn your stripes before anyone give you a shot. And then it was like, or there's online, and no one knows how to do it, or what the hell it is even. So I was like, cool, I'll go for that. I don't have to be the guy, I have to, make the tea every day for like 2 years just to get my start. And, no one's been doing this very long, so I can actually be at the start of something for once. So that's how I got into websites.
Nice, nice. So now, before we talk a little bit about the contest that you're offering right now, tell us a little bit about some of the different products that you've put out there, because I think your story to me is pretty amazing from other developers I know, because most people have stuck to just working on WordPress or just doing development work, and you've been launching a couple of products. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I kind of, I suppose you'd say, have like a sort of traditional career for the first 10 years of my life, culminating as I worked in Dubai. I'm English, so I worked sort of in and around London, and then I ended up in Dubai for a couple of years, which was awesome. But then kind of really wanted to shift gears, so I came out here to Italy with my then girlfriend, now wife, and so we're very lucky to live here. And I was fortunate to save some money in Dubai, but didn't have like a huge massive plan. I wrote a book actually, which was about apps, and but then quickly learned I knew nothing about marketing really at all, business, or I had this great fantasy. Everyone's like, what's the saying? Like Vikings, they sort of burn the ships when they land, so they can't go back. To go to war, just burn. Just go all in, and everything will be fine. You'll like figure it out. And that was kind of always my philosophy in my career. I always massively bit off way more than I could chew. But I always just somehow managed to figure it out. And then, but I found with this, like, it's not necessarily the case. Like, it is really, really hard. And it's really, particularly, I think, to make that mindset shift from kind of, even though you end up quite senior, someone else always telling you what to do, to like staring at the screen every day and saying, okay, what am I going to do? What's the most important thing to do? And being overwhelmed with information and stuff. So I did the book, which sold okay, but not enough to pay the bills. And then, I looked into, I know about websites and things, so I went into kind of development consulting, and that's kind of obviously how we met. And then I've obviously tried like a few different things. One of the things we tried is selling WordPress themes. We have Ian, this great designer I work with called Derry. We sell these WordPress themes like design for entrepreneurs. And we don't have a lot of them because we sort of quality over quantity, but the ones we have, we've had some amazing feedback and kind of do okay. And then I've really, for kind of a long time, wanted to really understand like how can I translate my skills or what I've learned about websites and kind of WordPress in general to entrepreneurs, because not everyone has that budget for 5,000-10,000, which is kind of if you're just going around, if you find like the kind of best sort of good design and the best good developer, and you want to set up a website for your business, that's probably what you'll pay. And then you go to an agency, you're definitely into 5 figures and whatever. And then right at the other end, you could go on Elance or these other sites or even Fiverr, and you might get lucky. But you get people with very mixed quality, attitude, and likability. So what I really wanted to do was, how can I bridge this gap between either playing a lottery or like spending like a few thousand, and you really do like it's that stark difference to kind of get a good website on our own. And clearly not everyone should. I'm not advocating everyone should spend thousands on a website. It absolutely shouldn't. So for me, it was like, how can I kind of fill this gap? And I don't know if your audience is kind of aware that there's these. One of the ways to kind of to meet that challenge is there's these things called WordPress themes, which is like an off-the-shelf design, basically. So you can buy like a great design for $50, $100, something like that. You kind of plug it into your site, and then instead of spending thousands on a unique design, you've got a design that, hey, lots of other people in the world have, but it's your content, your logo, your colors. So basically, it's your design, and it didn't cost you a fortune. The problem with that is not everyone, even though it's fairly easy to set up, there's no standard way of like coding themes or how they should be. It's really, it depends on who you bought it from and where, and the level of support and instructions and stuff. So kind of came up with the idea for Theme Ballet a few months ago, which was we would literally concentrate solely on that one part of the business where we will help people set up WordPress websites. They go in and buy the theme, and we advise them as well. I had lots of people contact me all the time saying, I want to do this kind of business. What theme should I buy? We say, go and buy this, go and buy that. We don't do affiliate links or anything like that. It's just, here's our free advice. This is the theme we recommend, whether you work with us or not. But in more cases than not, people then want us to set up the theme for them as well. So for our packages start at like $99. The theme maybe costs the same. So for a couple $100, we can get at least their website on the road. And if they need like a bit more help, like if they want us to add content and stuff like that. So all in all, sort of less than $500, you can actually have like a solid theme, solid site, rather than either just, like I say, playing the lottery or spending a fortune.
Most definitely. So wait, now you gave a huge amount of information, which is why I love you, Nick, because you always give us a lot in this regards. Before, I'm going to totally tease the audience right now, before we get into the contest, I just want to give a quick recap. So I think one of the biggest things out there, and I will say for myself, this was actually pretty insightful to get this, is that for a lot of people, they don't know what a price point is in terms of a website. And so understanding that if you want to get a quality website that is customized the way that you want it to, you need to have at least 5 to 10K in the bank to be able to do it. Like, don't even begin to touch it. Don't go down the road. Don't try to figure out how to do it unless you have that in there. But love, of course, that, there are these wonderful things like themes. And the best way that I've described it to my coaching clients is it's like a template. You have Word templates that kind of design everything for you, and this way you don't have to think about it. But I will say, and I can definitely speak from firsthand experience, you get the template, you get the theme, and you look at it and you're like, great, now what do I do? How do I get this thing installed? And there's 1,000 better things that you should be doing. And so I absolutely love that you figured out that that was a problem that your audience was having, and that if you could manage that part of it, which you could probably do in your sleep within 5 minutes, that the rest of us would spend weeks doing, trying to save money, it's a lot better to kind of to separate that out. So I will give a big woo-woo to everyone that definitely, if you have a theme that you are sitting down looking at right now, or if you're thinking about purchasing a theme, I have used the Theme Valet service, absolutely love it. And I think it's really smart to just say, let me turn this to an expert to be able to do it. If you thought about all of the different entrepreneurs that you've worked with and the clients that you've worked with, what do you think the one thing is outside of just that background info there? What do you think is the one thing that you wish more people knew about WordPress or knew about web development in general from your perspective?
I would say, here's a good one actually. I was just thinking, it follows on from what I was just saying about this kind of gap, up here and here, and is I think a lot of maybe your audience who listen to this might be saying, well, that's all very well and true. Like, but can't I go to say something like Wix or
Mm-hmm.
Squarespace? Like,
Yes.
don't they already do this thing in the middle you're talking about?
Yep.
And they do to an extent. And for me, WordPress is great because I like it because it's a tool I like. I use Trello to organize my to-do list because it's the best thing for that. Maybe one day I'll use something else, but right now, for the longest time, WordPress is the best thing to use. And I'll tell you for why. The thing that people don't really realize the difference between, say, having your own WordPress site and like a Squarespace site or a Wix site. It's not for some like geeky, like codey reason. It's really one thing, and that's ownership.
Mm.
It's really ownership, and it might again sound like is it really that important? Like, as long as it looks nice and does the things I need to do. I'll give you like a very quick, very typical example.
Sure.
Wix, for example, the other day, Wix, and you can go and check this out on Search Engine Land, which is the most respected website that writes about search engines, search engine rankings, and search engine tactics. It's been going forever.
Okay.
It's reporting that not just a few, like swathes and swathes of Wix users were having their sites not indexed by Google. Like, they were indexed by Google before,
really,
and then they fell off Google.
Interesting.
So their traffic was like, bang, just gone. Why? Because you're on Wix's platform. And the same thing could happen potentially on Squarespace, something like that. So, in some ways, maybe it's slightly easier, but you don't have the same ownership. Mm-hmm. So, if, for example, you get a WordPress site, and this is where it's important to clarify one point, and this gets lots of people confused, understandably. But if you get a WordPress site that you pay like a monthly hosting for on GoDaddy or WP Engine or whatever, mm-hmm. that means it's your site. You're using the WordPress code. The code is free. You're just paying for the hosting and whatever other services you want to put on top. But there's something else called WordPress.com, and again, that's a platform. That's like a Wix or a Squarespace. I would say much better than those two. Mm-hmm. But again, what we're talking about here is ownership. So it's your sites and your little server somewhere. You're paying $5, $10 a month, whatever, to get started with. And the reason why it's important is there's more responsibilities, but you have that ownership. You can't be caught up in a problem like Wix where, I've lost all my search engine traffic and there's nothing I can do. So it's like taking a bit more responsibility, but it's kind of giving you a platform where you have full control, mm-hmm. and also it's going to be hugely scalable. If your business does start to take off, you won't have to throw it all away and start again. Those blog posts you're writing, those products you're selling, you can scale to larger and bigger and better solutions. So I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand is that.
The ownership piece, that's actually huge. So it's kind of a thing of, do you want to pay now or pay later? And when you think about the ownership piece, I would definitely encourage people. I can say from my own perspective, I when I first met Nick, I came to him, and I can't remember now the site. Moonfruit was the site that I was using at the time, and it was slightly painful at that point. And I didn't even have a lot of content to move it over. But what's been fascinating is, to your exact point, as my business has grown, as I've added more products, as I have now a ton more content, it really, WordPress definitely, I would wholeheartedly agree. I think it's pretty amazing in terms of the ownership piece that I have right now. And it's such a difference when you want to edit or do something or make a change or whatever versus what I had to go through before. So thank you for sharing that background. So Nick, you have this contest that I am like, OMG, I'm kind of upset because my site's already done and wish I could join in. But what I'm going to do is promote it and share it like crazy with my audience, because I know that there are people right now that are thinking about getting a site, or they have one and they want to get it updated. So can you share a little bit about the contest and where can they find out more details about it?
Yeah, so we're calling it the Epic website launch. That's the best name we can think of. But it's basically it's where we talked about this middle ground, the 5-10 Ks and the things in between. It's kind of like the dream sort of package of like the in between, if you like. So it's so first up, we obviously Theme Valet will set up the whole site for you on our top package, which is normally like a $500 value, basically $499. So that means we set it all up in the first place. So the theme we set up If you want to email us with your content, we'll put that on for you. And if you've got a logo and colors and stuff, we can get all that done. So firstly, you don't have to really lift a finger apart from maybe send us some Word docs of the content and stuff you want. But in terms of actual theme, we've picked out, because there's so many theme vendors out there, and obviously we see a lot. So I picked out 3 of kind of my favorite sort of theme shops, if you like, and they cover really all range of designs and stuff. So
nice.
We'll obviously, whichever theme people prefer out of those, we'll provide. And we're also throwing in a call with me.
Sweet.
People. So obviously my best advice would be to have that before we kind of did the whole job, because that way I can sit down with people and we can figure out like a proper plan, like which design is going to work best for you, layouts, things like that. And then I just wanted to make it basically to kind of take care of everything. So we're throwing in something called a Beaver Builder page plugin, which there's a lot of page plugins, but that's one of like the very best. So if you want to kind of do columns and stuff on your site, like after we hand it over to you, you'll be able to do stuff like that. We're throwing in a great contact form plugin, which is just might not sound like a big deal, but can make like a really big difference. You can do like lots of cool stuff with it, like get alerts and stuff when people contact you, and then so it's basically really like everything you would need to go from, like, if you've either got a business website at the moment you're not happy with, it's a great kind of sort of reset on it. Or if you've got another thing I think would be nice for people is like if you have that side project you always kind of wanted to do, but you can't really justify the budget. Well, if you win this contest, you can, you're basically taking a free shot at this like side project idea. So you get this $1,500 website and just bang, go with it. So we're kind of saying it's like everything but the domain name. That's the only thing we won't get.
Nice.
So you still have to get a domain name, but it'll cost you about, I don't know, maybe $10 if you grab a .com or something. So you do that and you can get it. And I think I really wanted to make it as well, like, so if people, because I know some people, as you say, benefit from this more than others. There's some people who could easily just afford this package anyway. But I think for people who want to put in like a tiny bit more work, we use something called the King Sumo Giveaways plugin, and basically what that does is it rewards people who share and get other people to enter the contest. So it helps us because, hey, more people are viewing the contest. We get more email addresses. But if someone really wants to prize themselves, they can massively increase their chances by getting like 10 friends to share, because we'll give them entries for every single person they get as well. So we've kind of put all that in there, the whole mechanism, and we kind of really, we know that Theme Valet is like an experiment, like all kind of good businesses are. We see ourselves as like learning from all the stuff we're trying. We'll be sharing kind of also how that went with people on our blog afterwards as well, so people can see what works about the giveaway, what hasn't, the results and stuff as well. So I think it'll be everyone who joins as well will we'll send that article so they can not only just participate in the contest, but also from a business point of view, they can see like, well, did this really make a big difference to Theme Valet? And we'll be honest, as we have in all our other blog posts about what worked and what didn't, so they can take those learnings and put them in their own business. So to me, I see it as like a kind of beautiful like cycle of something we can do. So not only do you have the chance to win, but hopefully, if you're unfortunate enough not to win, there's still hopefully some value you can get out of it, because people will probably be wondering, well, maybe I should do this with my own business, and we'll certainly be following up as well. If people want to kind of copy it and do the same thing, we'll show people how we do it on the blog.
Sweet. Wow. So in case you can't figure out, this is an amazing opportunity, because as you pointed out, if people have a side project that they've been thinking about doing a website, or I know a lot of business owners that they do their first website and then you're struggling to come up with the funds to do it again. And the second go around, in a weird way, I think the second go around is probably better, because by that point you know a little bit more about what you want on the site, like what's going to make it work better for you, what's going to allow your business to be able to grow. So I am so excited for people to be able to find out about this contest, to take advantage of this amazing opportunity. And clearly what's really best about this is share, because if you share more frequently, as Nick Nick pointed out, you will get more entries into the competition. So I think personally that's kind of a no-brainer, is just get out there, share it. I will keep fingers crossed for everyone in my audience, and if anyone in my audience wins it, I will just be jumping up and down for joy. But I think it's just across the board. I think it's absolutely amazing, Nick, because I know that you charge, for your sites a lot because you do really, really amazing work. And so for someone to get the opportunity to get a site like this, I think is pretty awesome. Sweet. Can you share with us the website or where people can find out more details about it?
Yeah. So our website is themevalet.com. ThemeValet.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get straight into the contest. In fact, I'll put up a link just for your kind of listeners, so it's easier. So if you just go, I'll do it straight after the call. If you go to themevalet.com/Maya, MALLA.
Sweet. I love it.
Straight to the contest. You're going to have a long, complicated thing to remember. So yeah, I'll get that set up, and you can scroll. There's a full breakdown of the competition, kind of all the stuff there, all the prizes and things. There's so much stuff we're putting out. Probably even not even remembered something in it, but and we'll be running the contest, I think, about 10th of November, and we'll do the draw sometime about a week after that. Oh, and the other thing I should add is, because I think maybe a lot of people will have the same idea like you said, where I just got my website done or I don't need this right now, is we're going to, from the moment we do the draw, we'll keep the prize live for 12 months. So if people want to enter and they're like, I'm actually kind of happy to start it now, or I've got a side project, but I might not run with it. I also know, obviously, the end of the year and January and stuff is a big time for people wanting to push on with new projects and start stuff as well. So they'll have a long time if they want to kind of leave it in the bank with us. We can pick it up at a later date.
I love it. That is super generous, because you're 1,000% right. The ideas come up and then you're like, but I can't take it on right now. So a year that people have. Okay. So without hesitation, for anyone that is watching this video, please make sure to share this. You have until November 10th to be able to take advantage of this competition. And I'm kind of excited. I think it's a pretty amazing and awesome thing for people to be able to get. And I cannot speak highly enough of Nick's work on my end. He has helped me with all of my sites, and both panic moments and also thinking strategy. So I know for whoever gets this site, it's going to be pretty awesome what they'll be able to get access to. So Nick, thank you so much for this call today. It was pretty amazing, and I hope that, of course, now the light pops up that looks all jazzy on my end, but I hope that folks enjoyed and definitely took away the tips on some things that are important to know about websites and about web development in general. So thanks so much. Take care.